Welcome to the Road is Dead podcast. I'm your host, Rob Curtis. I'm here in the studio. Joining me is
Leah Sanda.
Remotely down here in Illinois, we have
Tim Strelecki.
And joining us again after a long hiatus, you are now in Philly, aren't
Pittsburgh,
you? No,
Pittsburgh, dude. Pittsburgh. Don't insult.
I knew that. I knew that.
You can't insult Pittsburgh.
You can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't. PA people are going to be pissed.
Yeah, I know. I knew that.
Pittsburgh is where I grew up. I'm home visiting family. I've been to Chicago first, and then drove to Pittsburgh for Thanksgiving to see my mom and my other brother, and stayed here and fly out to Colorado tomorrow. So
yeah,
on a
so
journey of a trip.
That jumps right into. So I was sitting there. I think the day before. When did you fly? I don't know, but it was like the day before. So 2 days before Quarry Cross. I got a text from your brother, and it was a picture of you, Mike, in the car with him, and he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "So is he here or are you there? Like, what's going?" I had no idea what's going on. He didn't really fill any details, and he's like, "Oh no, he's here," and I knew his wife was having a birthday party. I'd gotten an invite to that, which we couldn't go to, unfortunately, because Julie had already made plans quite a while beforehand. And so, and then I kind of figured out kind of what was going on. And I was like, well, how long is he going to be there? And he said, till Wednesday. I go, well, tell him he's got to come out to the cross race. And he goes, haha, okay, sure. And then that was it. And I was like, no, I'm serious. He needs to come out. And that's when it dawned on me. The way Joel, being the way that Joel is, I knew I had to go direct to the source, and I was going to have to text you. So
it's always interesting to see how, like, I consider Joel pretty high functioning. He's high level, 3 kids, he's got a pretty good job, like intense job, and but yeah, he gets scattered. Communication, it's all over the place. People get busy.
Yeah.
Plus, he was planning a 40th birthday party, which is crazy.
Yeah, and in his mind, it was like, yeah, no, we got plenty going on. Nothing's going to happen here, and I'm not even going to tell him. So, and that kind of all computed for me. And I was like, I'm going to have to go direct to the source. So I texted you, you were like, well, like, how far is it? Like, where is this? And I sent you the info.
I was committed. I mean, Joel did say something kind of, but not really with details. And I asked how far it was, and he said it was 20 minutes. Or maybe that was after I read your text.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Either way, I wanted to see you guys. I was either going to go come to your location, your shop, when I went to visit his plant that he's got going on, his company that he's got going on there. I was definitely going to come see you guys. I mean, that's the thing about this trip is Chicago, and then driving with the family, to Pittsburgh, and then staying with the family here, and then staying with my mom and stepdad here as well. So it was like bouncing around. So it was like good to see everybody. So it was nice to see people, and it was nice to see the race too. I haven't been to a race outside of Colorado since I retired.
So what'd you think? Cool to see. What'd you think now that you were there?
It was rad. It was cool. It was cool to be. It was cool to explain to my nephew. He had never been to a bike race, so I enjoyed explaining to him what was going on. Even like the mindset of the riders. Like you could see the focus of the riders change. When the whistle blew to line up. Versus warming up, and the intensity of just getting ready for. Just a local race. I love that feeling of adrenaline. Tim, you were definitely in it, dude. You were definitely in it.
Yeah.
He's always like that. He's got that Tim aura about him when you get close.
I don't show up until it's like time to stage. I'm usually in my own little bubble. I don't like
that.
I don't like
it was cool that
drama.
It was cool to see you in the zone getting ready for it. I was happy we didn't miss the start. I was kind of bummed we were going to miss your start. Rob had told me the start time, and I just couldn't get out of the house with one of the kids, because when you take one, you kind of like the other one wanted to go, but he was kind of being bad. It was a good thing, So I had to kind of sneak out of the house. But yeah, it was cool, man. I enjoyed it a lot. The course looked rad. It was well laid out. A lot of effort goes into that. The announcing was sick. Kenny was crushing it. And then the competitors were awesome too. It was cool to see the women race, and it was really cool to see your race.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came out. I'm glad we finally got to meet face to face.
Yeah, it was weird. I hadn't seen Rob since I don't know when. I had never met you in person, so it was nice. It's funny because you get to see somebody. The virtual meetings do work because it feels like I knew you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm comfortable. I could give you a hug or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Little bro hug.
Yeah, it was funny when I was rolling up. I got to talking to who did I get talking to? Oh, this is going to kill me. But anyway,
Mark and Dan and Mark.
Oh, yeah. No, I was talking to Dan and Mark, and because Dan had just gotten back from
Gotcha.
being in Europe and looking at the races over there, and so I mentioned something to him because I was like, "Hey, you know, when'd you get back?" That kind of thing. And then I was like, "Oh, by the way, I'm walking over right now to see Mike. Do you remember Mike Friedman?" He goes, "Meatball," and he just jumped up, and next thing you know, so it's like he's there 5 seconds and there's two guys jumping over and to go talk to Mike. It was like,
dude,
okay,
when, the thing is when like the world of cycling is so small. So when you meet people who know
oh, yeah,
have anything that know anything about bike racing at all, and even have any reflection of who you were at one point, it's like a weird. It almost makes it like super nostalgic for me when it happens because it makes me feel like it wasn't for nothing. Which is
Yeah.
weird to say, but
No, that's a good point. That's a very good vantage point.
you know those two guys had been those guys had been in writing and following the journey when I was racing, and so there's definitely like a brotherhood, even with guys that you race with. Like if I see any of the guys that I race with anywhere, like I have it's like a large fraternity, you know. But only with the guys that you really race with, because it's like even just racing, you get to see their personality and their race strategy or whatever, or with your teammates, and there's only a few teammates I even stay in touch with. But so when you see people, Rob, you're one of them, like it's just, yeah, I don't know anyone else there, I mean, maybe I knew someone else there, but like it's nice to run into those two guys. I mean, when's the next time I'm going to cross their paths? It's been
right.
11 years.
Yeah, I mentioned you were here to Dan. Dan's like, or he, I think when he walked up to you, he was like, I interviewed you at the Tour of California.
Dude, it's just like a
That's
different
what he
chapter,
led with,
different,
Yeah. That's
different
crazy.
chapter. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
It is, to your point, though, it is such a small world. I mean, when it comes to cycling, it is just this tiny little world. And I think I've
but it's
said it
also
on here
not, dude. It's
before.
also huge. There's
Yeah.
so many people you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that, and sure, like, a lot of people know a lot of people, but it is still big.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's that weird, I don't know. To your point, it's that weird dichotomy of what it really is. Anyway, it was cool that just having a mild conversation. It's like, oh, by the way, you guys know Mike? Oh yeah, yeah. But
It just
and
makes
then
you
we
reflect how much time passes, how
yeah,
fast things go by. It's like, yeah. Anyways,
I've been having a lot of that lately in the last couple of weeks with like the holidays and things going on. I'm like flashing back to stuff and a bunch of memories are popping up and I'm like, yeah, that wasn't that long ago. And it's like, yeah, that was like 2019. It's the pre-pandemic thing. It's since the pandemic, it's like nothing has happened. It's for all of us, it's like, oh, that's been 1 year. It's been 5 years, we're going on almost year 6, the better part of a decade, and it just seems like life stopped, at least for me. I don't know if you guys experience the same kind of thing, but
I don't know that it's stopped, but it's definitely shifted. It's definitely
it's weird.
changed. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
Even the technology is different. I mean, it's like the flow is different. People's society feels different.
Yeah, a lot of things changed with the pandemic because everything became, digital and hands off for everything. So coming back, everything's changed. Like how you pay for things, how do you register for things, how you check in at races, how everything has just become very different.
That's got to be really confusing, especially for you as a senior citizen to be
I
able to figure all
know.
that out.
Yeah, har.
No,
I do. I mean,
Senior citizen. I mean, I'm not going to ask how old Leah is, so I can't.
I am. What's the date today? So
oh,
I'm
your birthday's coming up, isn't it?
17 days away from being 58.
Nice.
Which seems crazy to me because I still feel like a kid.
I get it. I totally
Yeah.
get that one.
I met
Yeah,
somebody who had Parkinson's disease, and he was like late stage, and he said that through his wife, because he couldn't talk, he said that he was still the same person. He's just trapped in his body.
yeah,
Age has
Mm.
nothing to do with it. You're just on this journey as this soul, this energy thing. And then when that goes, man, like when Walter passed away, you're just a plastic bag, dude. You're a fucking mason jar, man. You're just holding this energy force, which is awesome to be part of. But what is all that?
It feels really weird when I'm talking to, like, if I'm talking to women that I would potentially be competing with in events and realize, Jesus, they're like, I'm talking to a 19-year-old that we're going to be racing against. And I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I here? I shouldn't be having this conversation. I am irrelevant. And it's like, no, I'm not yet.
No, you're going to show her what's up is what you're going to do. You're going to show that 19-year-old how 58 rolls.
If they listen.
Old
I
age
saw it happen with Strelecki, dude. I saw it happen, so
old
I know
age,
it's possible.
Old age and treachery.
Yep, for sure. But anyway, so we got over to see the start of Tim's race. Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to take it from there a little bit.
Well, Tim, I'd never even seen you race. I didn't really know. I mean, you were second, third line down the pole. Like, how did they do the staging?
Staging is based off in our series. Front row is based off of series points. So the top 8 from points in our series get the front row, and then thereafter it's based off of cross results points. So I lined up first rider in the second row, chose my wheel to follow. Got a clean start, and I think I was in third or fourth.
Dude, everybody was so quiet, man. You like, I wish I had like a fart machine or something like on the start line to just be like, because it's just everyone's so focused.
I'd probably be pissed off.
I know. You and all the other 40 guys would be so funny though. That's totally worth it next time.
Tiger Woods at the tee, ready to hit it, and somebody rips.
I can't believe that's never happened. Why has a fart machine never been into the PGA? Anyways.
It's probably
I'm sure
felony.
it's happened. Yeah, they probably get thrown out very quickly.
Well, there's always those people that are like, the dude's about to putt, and they're like, get in the hole right before he hits the ball. It's just like, But I don't know.
Dude, I didn't realize it seemed to be fairly important because your start was like I didn't expect you to move up as fast as you did. I didn't really know what to expect, dude. I had no expectations. I was just there to watch you race, but it seemed like it was an important race for you. Why was everybody so focused? I mean, other than the fact that it's a race. But
I mean, there's it's one of the points in the race where if you're not focused, you're gonna pay for it dearly, because if the whistle blows and you're not prepared and everyone goes, you can go from front row to
no. I mean, for you, wasn't it qualification for something?
No. The way I view our local series, these are just training races for me. I don't put any stock. I don't put any stock into results like I used to anymore. My focus is broader than our series. So the goal, like I hadn't raced I took a few weeks off at the end of October and the beginning of November, raced a double weekend, and then went to that race, which was going to be the last one before nationals, and continued to train and build the form and all that. And that race was just a training day. So with the mechanical that had happened, it actually ended up being a very, very good training day. Despite the incident.
Because then you had to fight back for it. But dude, it was like we saw you came through. We were at the start finish line still because we were saying hi to Kenny, and you came flying through, and you were in the lead already on the first lap. You had already moved up.
Yeah.
And then we turned around to because you were gonna. What's that sound? You guys hear that?
Our heater just turned on here.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We turned around, dude, and we were talking to Rob for a split second, and the next thing we know, we hear this. Everything is shattering, behind us, and your derailleur is just dismantled.
Yeah, no, I passed into the lead, and I'm like, okay, this is good. I felt good. My attitude was good. I was locked in. My legs were good, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a good day. And then, 2 corners from the finish, from integrating back into the course on the start finish straight, my derailleur and everything just blew up. It just blew up. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out I know what happened. I just know that I was pedaling, and then I couldn't pedal. And I looked down and I saw the Di2 wire hanging. I'm like, well, that's not good. And it was like the worst place to have a mechanical because it's so far from the pit. So I'm like, all right, there's a there's a split second decision you have to make because you're in the middle, you haven't even finished a lap, and it's like, well, I'm super far from the pit. Do I run there or do I stop and just, call it a day? And I'm not one to quit, so I'm just like, all right, I'll just shoulder it and run. So I just ran and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran and ran till I got to the pit and then grabbed my pit bike and
It didn't take you that long. You were at the pit pretty quickly. I mean, it probably felt that way, but like by the time we strolled over there, you were getting to the pit.
Yeah, no, I had stopped 3/4 of the way down the start finish straight because the long start finish straight to try and undo my chain from where it was stuck so I could like just run with my bike next to me, like holding the stem. I'm like, I think I would be faster if I could run that way because my seat kept bashing me in the head, and I'm like, this is getting annoying. But I tried to pull it out and it wouldn't come out, so I just threw it on, got to the pit, and continued on for the day. But
yeah, to your point, Mike, we were talking and I just heard that behind me and I went, well, that's got to suck for somebody. And then I turned and saw it was Tim and it was like, oh no. And I very quickly did the math in my head to Tim's point and was like, okay, I need to get over in the pits, and ran over to the pits, and just watching Tim run through everything was just killing me. Cause I was like, it was so long.
It was long.
It was
like really long.
Anthony and I both were just sitting there just going, oh, this sucks. Oh no, this sucks.
What are you gonna do? It's a bike race. Stuff happens.
You can't. You got.
I enjoyed every minute of it. It was
what
sick.
happened?
I enjoyed watching you run into the pit. It was awesome because then the race totally changed. It was a bummer, but yeah.
To answer Leah's question, we did a lot of digging. I didn't understand what happened based on what was going on. Tim was like, yeah, I don't know, what, it just happened.
It broke.
And looking at everything after the fact, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. He'd had some shifting problems beforehand. He said he clipped the derailleur on a post the day before in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the shifting. The hanger was fine. And then I adjusted it.
You're pretty meticulous. I mean, I agree. If you're checking, I trust your work. So
it's actually, I didn't adjust it. I just looked at the hanger, put the derailleur back on. Everything seemed like it was shifting. He left, then came back and said, it's worse. So then we went in to adjust it, and he said it was off on like one cog, and I looked at it, and the whole thing was shifted. If you think internally, the whole shift array, it lost what cog was where by one cog. So it had shifted the entire cassette by one cog. And I just went in, did the adjustments, got it all cleaned up, and it was shifting. Mm-hmm. I will say that I've had, in this particular derailleur, I have had it adjust the array by one cog before. And that happened with mine when it was brand new, and I set it up, and I ended up warrantying the derailleur. Because they came over, they being the Shimano tech guys, came over, ran through it, and could not figure it out. And so we warrantied it. And it would just glitch and kind of move the whole array. That being said, we eventually got it here, and Brendan helped us figure it out. He's our Shimano tech rep here.
Shout out to Brendan.
Yeah. We took it. He dug out the connector because the connector was sheared off flush. He plugged it in, and basically the derailleur thought it was in cog number 5 still. And if anybody's ever looked at that kind of failure, it's an overshift. It looked like it overshifted off the back end of the cassette. Chain was jammed in behind the cassette, and everything just locked up and rolled up and blew up the derailleur. I mean, you see that 1,000 times when you're looking at like mud races, or somebody goes down and it bends the hanger, and then that the derailleur is going to get caught in the wheel if they go for the smallest gear, largest cog but smallest gear. But where he was, there was no reason to be in that cog. And so that's what I couldn't figure out. I was like, there's no way, because he wasn't in that cog. The only thing I could figure is that somebody pushed the derailleur, like got into him and with their wheel and like pushed it. And he said, no one got into me. So I'm sitting there going, I don't know what's going on. He plugs it in. It thinks it's still in cog number 5, which there's no way. So we go back and forth. He runs some error checks on it. It then found itself, and then he ran another test, and then it lost itself again. So it's like something was up with it, where it was not reading the position correctly, and or internally it was losing track of where it was. So unfortunately, it thinks, just from the damage that happened the day before, it may have just decided to leave the chat, whether or not anybody else wanted it to be there. So that was gone. We did get some help, though. We got him set up with a new used derailleur going. I've got another new one sitting downstairs for nationals. He's got another backup. So there's 3 derailleurs just on that bike alone that we've got ready for him going to nationals. But unfortunate, and seeing him run that far as a mechanic just makes you question everything that you've ever done in your entire life during that entire run, while he's sitting there thinking, am I going to keep doing this? Why is this saddle hitting me in the head? Can I pull the chain out? It would be easier if I could push this. In my head, I'm going, do I still want to work on bikes? Did I mess something up? That's the crap that goes through your head the entire time. But he got in, got a bike, and probably rode through half the field before the end.
Dude, they were so excited that you had a mechanical.
They were
stoked. They were going past the finish line. They're like, Strelecki's out. Oh yeah, like all stoked on it, laughing. And I was like, oh, now it's on. Because then I could just yell, Strelecki's coming. Strelecki's coming. Even if you were like 40 minutes behind him, you were coming.
I was just 45 minutes. There's not much you can do, but got a good, like I said, I got a good training day out of it. I got a good, I'm not sour about it. It's bike racing. It happens. It's what.
Yeah, it was sick, dude. It was sick. I mean, it was a friendly banter. It's good to see the competitiveness. Like they know that you're a weapon, right? Yeah. So it's different because now their race strategy changes too, because now they're not racing for second. Now they're racing for the win, which is different. So now their dynamic changes. It was just cool to see that emotion, frankly.
There aren't many times where I am, burying myself that a Belgian popsicle is hanging from my chin. I had a good one. And that means I was.
Is it a booger?
A big saliva drool. You even commented on it. You were like, I love the drool.
You sure that was me?
Oh yeah.
Maybe it was me. I don't remember.
No, I know it was you. I know it was you. But yeah, what are you gonna do?
It was fun. It was fun to see everyone racing. It was fun.
I'd much rather have all this crap happen now than I go to nationals.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm on the bell lap, and my derailleur decides to shit itself.
Yeah.
Then the bike would go into the woods. I would probably disappear for a while, and maybe quit.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But who knows?
I get that.
That could happen anyway.
So that's part of me. That's part of me that doesn't. We had mentioned. I would love to go down to nationals, and I would love to be in the pits where you had nationals. My problem is that the day before your race is my son's 13th birthday, and there's no chance I'm getting out of here for that. And so then I got to drive 9 hours the day before and flip and turn and burn because I was going to bring him down. And now apparently there's something else that we have to do on that next day. So I don't see there's any way of me joining you in the pits for that race, unfortunately. But, the other part of me is if I was there, I would just be too damn nervous, not to mention the fact that I would probably add a level of shit to your head that you probably don't need as well, too. So it's almost better to have somebody dumb in the pit.
I'm getting pretty good at weeding out the bullshit and seeing what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
What I know is right for me and what other people want me to believe. I don't have time for that. You know? Especially at something.
So now we got to figure out somebody to grab a bike, unless you're just going to lean it in there and just be like, yeah, forget it.
I got it taken care of. I got a pitter. I got a pit person. Shout out to Ty Kurth.
Nice. Yeah, you had mentioned that Ty might be able to do it, so that'll be awesome.
I'm good.
And on another side note, I was walking through the pits just before that, on the race before that, and as I was walking by, Ty was there, just tapped him on the shoulder, and I was almost out of the pit, and he goes, "You want to hear some drama?" And it stopped me dead cold in my tracks, and I turned around and was like, "Ooh," So he and I share some good times there, but it wasn't anything major. I'm not, at least nothing I'm going to cover on here. That's for sure.
I wouldn't say that it's not anything major, but it's not anything you're going to want to talk about.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. But fun stuff. So Ty and I have some fun. Outside of that, venue, course, I don't know, any feedback. I mean, me personally, I'll do my thing. We did our last podcast. We went out, we did our pre-ride, and what I said to you, we basically became persona non grata out there. I caught a lot of flack for everything that we were saying.
Like what? What did you get flack for?
Well, I just I know. I was riding by and I had somebody yelled at me, "Hey, did you get a flat yet?" I got that stuff.
Did you say people were going to get flats?
Well, I said, I've only ever gotten one flat in one race in like 15 years of racing, and it just happened to be that course, and of course it was that course. That's basically what I said, and apparently that wasn't very nice. But anyway,
I don't get it.
I don't know. The course was fine. The course was fine. For me, I just had one of the absolute worst races I think I've had for myself that morning, and it was all me. My heart wasn't in it, my head wasn't in it, and I'm on the tail end of just not a great season. So I yanked the cord after that race, but there's a lot of wood chips in it, and I got off to run the stairs on like the second lap or whatever. I went to go clip back in, could not get back into my pedals at all, and rode for a while. And I pulled my foot up and looked, and there was a wood chip jammed into my cleat, like underneath the cleat. And I could not, I was stomping on the pedal, I'm kicking it, I'm doing whatever. And I ride through this bit, and I'm like, just keep riding. And then it dawns on me, I'm not going to be able to complete this course or race if I can't clip in. I'm just not going to happen. So I stopped on the road. There's a gravel road in the back stretch of it. I stopped, pulled up my cleat, tried to start digging at the wood chip, could not get it out. And for the life of me, just wedged in there super hard.
Dude, next year it's going to be about this wood chip, not your flat tire.
Well, I had to go into the woods. I had to go into the little woods there, find a stick that was about the right size, and then pry the wood chip out of my shoe. And when it popped out, I did the little math that, like what Tim was saying, just a different level of math. I'd be like pre-algebra where he was doing calculus too. I'm sitting there going, do I really want to finish this race? And because at that point I was dead last in my race, but I did. I threw my leg over. I finished it out. Supposedly I wasn't dead last. Supposedly there was somebody out there who I never saw who finished behind me, but that's my race report. So course-wise, it is what it is. I need to practice more wood chip riding. It's cool. It's interesting.
Whiny, twisty.
I didn't have enough experience cornering that
good.
Much
dry
on wood
fast,
chips,
but with good grip because it was still Chicago, so it was kind of wet. It looked good. I don't know. I don't know anything about cross, dude. I only did like 2 cross races.
Well, we should have actually, when we talked, we should have gotten a bike for you and gotten you into the race. I could have gotten a one day.
I was riding all summer, and then I have had like a month and a half where I just have not made it a priority. So I'm just getting back in the swing of things. I've made it every single day this week since I've been in Pittsburgh. I have ridden with my brother. We've just made it a priority, which has been sick.
Which brother? Are you riding with Joel or
David? Joel's back in Chicago, but we did a ride with Joel, which was hilarious. It was fun. It was kind of in my dad's name. You kind of have to, when we're all 3 together, we got to go ride.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
well, on a side note, tell David I said hi.
I will. Yeah, I will.
He came down and raced our Norgie race when we had the Norgie race. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, he did. As a Cat 3, and he ripped it.
He was pretty fast. He's pretty fast now. He's not the same as he used to be, but yeah.
Well, he got married and had kids, right?
Some of those guys are so fast.
Yeah. Not me.
Yeah.
Was I ever fast though? Not really. Anyway, so that's my race report. Tim, that's your race report. Leah. So that's, to jump forward real quick and to do what the rest of that was a CCC. Basically, we took a week off. for Thanksgiving. And then, we had our series finale is supposed to be this weekend, and it was canceled due to snow and cold. That was the official line. Everyone's complaining or complaining that either they're happy that it's not happening or they're complaining that they didn't try hard enough or whatever. I get it.
How much snow was predicted?
Well, no, we've got a good 10 inches or so on the ground, and it's not going away. And it keeps dusting like an inch or so every couple days. It's been super cold to kind of warm, so we got little ice layers in there.
How would you even race across? How would you race a race in 10?
You can do it. It's just not
10 inches of snow.
Ideal.
You'd have to snow blow or shovel the whole course,
or just send a lot of fat bikes around to ride it in. But where they're at, they're on the beach. They're right on the lake.
10 inches of snow.
So
that
it's
bikes
drifting.
Are horrible unless it's groomed.
Yeah, it's drifting.
Or packed down.
And not to mention all the locals that I'm sure are out there walking in it and leaving frozen ice, steps and everything else. That area is also under construction, has been for like over a year. So
play the right call to cancel it. 10 inches.
God knows what they're dealing with. Yeah, but they
Mike, how dare you?
I mean, think about the staff.
Tim's not in agreement with the cancellation. I'm not. I had no plans of doing it anyway. But that's
how come? Why?
Because it's not on my calendar. I don't like the venue.
No, but why don't you like that they canceled for 10 inches of snow? I'm just curious. That's a lot of snow. Like if you see 10 inches of snow, you don't want to go shovel your own driveway.
Dude, figure out how to do it. I went to the Midwest Regionals in Wisconsin in 2016. That shit was deep as my knees, and they were fucking scrambling, and they pulled it off. I showed up to.
What race was that?
It was the Midwest Regional Championships in 2016.
So it was a much bigger race, though, right? It was had more on the line.
If you want
not in Wisconsin.
If you want to call it that, the fields were weak because the weather was small, whatever. But my point is, they had knee-deep snow, and they were fucking scrambling. And they did like Leah said, they snow plowed the course, or they were shoveling. They had snow blowers, but they were prepared. You can do it. You just have to give effort into it. You made the commitment. And
the problem with that is volunteers, man. I mean, you have the race management, but
they have two clubs putting it on. That's more than any other club.
Well, no, technically it's only one club, but they've got a promoter, and then they have a club that is the title club associated with putting it on.
I think it's cop out, straight up cop out, because you had people that were banking on this race, that trained specifically for this race.
Can you reschedule it though?
No,
or they have
no.
They're not going to do. They're not going to do.
Well, first of all, you can't reschedule Montrose. Montrose is, you're talking Chicago Park real estate there.
You have people that have trained specifically for this race and circled it on their calendar. Want to chase the jersey, whatever reason, good for them. Now they don't have that opportunity. Now you also have people that are using this as a pre-nationals tune-up that now they have to scramble and figure out what to do. Meaning, they didn't plan on not racing the state championship, so now they got to filter it into their program and scramble to try to make it up, or travel to Iowa for that one, or travel to Ohio for
I missed that part. It was a state championship?
Yeah. So, it's kind of one of those things that we've argued about over the years, is because I've never really been in favor of it being the state championships, or I'm not in favor of it continually and perpetually being the state championships, which it seems to be.
I'll say this. I mean, any opportunity for me to use my snowblower, I'm in. Right? So,
for sure.
I don't put a call to action. If you have a snowblower, meet us here for.
Here's the thing. I personally don't think it was just the snow and cold. That is our official public reason. I don't have any reason. I don't have any information other than that.
I can tell you that it's not.
But here's some of the mechanics of this for those that are interested. The guy that puts this on is the same guy that put on nationals at Kentucky. He put on a regionals around here where we had 6 or 8 inches of snow, and that went off just fine.
Yep.
What the difference is, first of all, regs have been extremely low in our series all season for whatever reason. As of Monday, like 30% down, 30 to 40% down for some races. As of Monday, they only had 170 people signed up when they normally have close to 600, 700 people showing up. Yeah, that could be people waiting, whatever. But when you're dealing with this kind of weather and you're dealing with this kind of snow and this kind of, wind, cold, everything else, the number of racers who actually show up and toe the line is going to be really small. It is not cheap to pay for that venue at all. I guarantee you that there was definitely a financial consideration that at least played into the decision being made.
I mean,
not
that's a hard decision to make, and maybe that's the right decision, unfortunately. Because how do you who know? I mean, without looking at who knows what their situation is. I mean, just because it's a state championship, just because you're the race promoter. And Tim, I know you're giving me the eye, dude, but put yourself in their shoes. I mean, who knows?
If I was in their shoes, I'd be out there doing it. You know why? Because people want to race.
How many people were in the club?
I have no idea.
It's a large club.
Do you think more people would have shown up other than 170 for 10 inches if you guys cleared it?
Where there's a will, there's a way. There's no will there.
I am not going to.
Rob's not going to say anything. He's not going to. He's going to.
This is Mike. You're not realizing it, but this is a very touchy political local thing.
No, I am aware.
Okay.
I think I want to play the neutral factor because I want to take both sides. Honestly, I have respect for both sides, both as the athlete and competitor, but also as the race promoter and financially. Even doing Boulder Roubaix, 2 years ago, the wind we had, and I was telling us, this is dangerous. There's so many factors to take into consideration beyond finances. So I like to look at it at both sides. And even though it is politicized in the area, people shouldn't get upset about it. It's more about, understanding. Everybody wants to race their bike.
It's strange how people are as upset as they are about it. The ones that are upset. But I get it to a degree.
I get the passion though too, Tim. I get the passion too, because it's so fun to throw down in 10 inches of snow and it's basically a party. It's totally different kind of race atmosphere.
We've had races in snow before. I mean, that's not the unique thing. But I will say when we had this level of snow, last time we had that was at Malus a bunch of years back, and we canceled that race. That race was canceled. They called everybody that they could to get out on fat bikes to pre-ride that course in or to shovel out sections. And
that's where you need a four-wheeler with a weighted sled or a snowmobile with a weighted sled.
Well, there are
country track.
We have a Camber, which is Chicago area mountain bikers. That organization does what is the word I am looking for, Leah?
Grooming.
When they groom,
yeah.
They groom a trail. They groom the trails in a couple systems around, and they have what they call snow dogs, which are sled like. Yeah, they're
it costs money. Man. What does it take to put that down? What does it take if it's all volunteer? That's one thing.
Well, it's all volunteer, and
if you're going to pay,
they could have gotten a snow
for
dog.
Someone to do that. I don't know what that stuff costs. I don't know.
But the whole issue of them getting snow dogs in to do it, I'm not arguing that a course couldn't have been made and that a race could not have taken place. I fully believe that a course could have been made and a race could have taken place. I think I didn't play a role in the decision. I was not privy to any of the direct conversations. I don't know the exact backgrounds. The whole thing about me saying it's a financial thing, that is me pulling it completely out of my ass with absolutely zero data to support it. But
it would make sense, Who knows? I don't know. Who knows, dude? I don't know. It could also be a staffing thing. Who knows? Who knows, dude? It could also be a family emergency shit. Who knows? Who knows? I just play devil's advocate on it. You never know, man. Oh, I'm going to take this moment to get some coffee. And maybe
it sounds like a compressor, but it's not our compressor.
Oh, then what's he worried about?
My legs are sore.
What's he worried about? It's not the compressor downstairs.
It could be our next door neighbor having a compressor. I don't know. It was weird.
Huh.
Anyway.
I've never been to the shop. I wanted to come to the shop. I was kind of looking forward to that. But it didn't work
you're
out
not
that
missing
way.
much.
Yeah.
It's not the point. It's not the point. It's to sit down and hang out and just talk is,
no. Well, okay, the next time you're in town, you got to come by.
Well, that's the thing is I so rarely travel. That's why I did a 2-week trip. It's okay, Chicago, then to Pittsburgh, and then back, and it's like.
Are you driving?
Here, a week there.
Yes,
no. I have.
He flew into Chicago,
times, but yeah. I've driven many times across the country. I once drove a trailer with pedaling mind stuff on it, like all the way across, and I lost 3 wheels in the trailer. I had to fix it on the side of the road with two 2x3s and like a spare wheel, and then I lost it. It's a whole journey. It's a whole mess.
Brutal.
It was crazy.
Well, speaking of peddling minds, 'tis the season for giving. And we haven't done a plug lately. You put out a thing on Giving Monday or Tuesday or whatever it was, and I tried to share it on every channel that we had, but
dude, I hate this time of year.
Well, hey,
there's so many amazing work. I know, but it's like I hate social media. I haven't been able to like deal with social media for a while. I don't know why, and it just seems like a waste of energy. But yeah, we did 450 kids this summer. 139 or 137 were free. You know, we put the money where we said we're going to put the money. So
nice.
If people want to give or donate or need a place to donate, you know, there's no program for kids without the organization behind it, you know? So, you know, you have to fund operations and you have to fund program. And so this year is 50-50. 50% of the money we're going to raise, that we want to raise, is going to go towards operations. And then the other 50% goes towards scholarships. Yeah.
All right. So to give people I hate when people ask me to do this, so feel free to tell me to fuck off. But give us the 3-second elevator speech for anybody listening, and then tell them how they can donate if they choose to do so. I'm going to make a coffee, so you do it. You do it before I get back.
Well, the easiest way to donate is to go to coloradogives.org and search Pedaling Minds. That's the easiest way to donate. And when you go there, you'll see a whole bunch of information and pictures and video of what the program is and, you know, the story of how it started. But I think the elevator pitch is simple. People don't realize how many people, kids and adults included, don't know how to ride a bicycle. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, don't have good control of their bicycle. So don't ride their bicycle, right? Or won't, you know, have the ability to learn. And we fixed that. We've spent the last 11 years going on 12, you know, dialing that process in of teaching someone how to ride a bicycle so we can guarantee you an impact and change of ability. And in turn, that gives someone the confidence to ride, you know, whether they ride now or later down the road, you know, they have the ability to ride. And it also gets people moving, families and kids alike. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't believe we're going on the 12th year.
That's awesome. Bet you never thought that when you started it.
I did not think it, but I didn't know how we were going to get there. I mean, every year is a pain in the ass. Fundraising is a pain in the ass. I mean, we operate on grants and donations, and in-person program fees, and it's tough to convince people why learning how to ride a bicycle is important. I mean, it's so simple. You think of all the benefits that it has, but for the average person, they think that it's easy and that everyone knows how to ride a bicycle. They don't know that it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
How many kids don't know how to ride? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think these days, especially, I mean, I think growing up, it was like potty training. It's like, when do you teach them how to ride a bike? It was just a given. It was a milestone in every kid's development, but that's not the case anymore.
Mm-mm.
I think parents want it to be. I think they recognize that it's like swimming. It's like a life skill. You know, when we work with kids, we change their life skill from 0 to hero, you know, in terms of their ability, you know, it's an aha moment. It's a milestone for both parents teaching, but also for the child learning too. And it doesn't have to even be a child. Like, it's really, really fascinating. Like a 45-year-old male or female will have the exact same fears as a 5-year-old, you know, and make the same or very similar mistakes when they're learning. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
It's fun. It's fun to see the emotionality too, the changes, the shift, the persona shift is cool. Like to see the emotionality of fear in the beginning and hesitation and whatever experience they've had that has caused them to struggle with it, or whatever learning pattern they have that's caused them to struggle with it, whatever the dynamic is with their guardian or parent, you know, teaching them. It's fascinating to see that shift. And we get a lot of challenging kids, a lot of emotions. It's really interesting, but it takes work and it's exhausting and it takes money. It's not cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you want a good place to donate, Colorado Gives, pedalingminds.org. I put the money where I say I'm going to put it. So
is it like when you have a camp, is it BYOB, like bring your own bike if they have it, or do you provide if they don't?
I want them to. I want them to bring their bike because then I have the ability to safety check it. It is baffling how many kids' bikes are unsafe and how many kids' bikes come with loose handlebars and loose
Forks
cranks
on
and
backwards.
loose headset, forks backwards, brakes not working, like it's the list. It's a long list. When I have to train our coaches, it's a huge thing that we have to go through because mechanically, you have to check their bikes and it's a problem because often the bikes, they just, they're all over the place. And that's what happens the very first day of camp. The parents drop off bikes and then, the coaches are trained to fix the bikes. We don't do full on repairs. We have bikes they could borrow. We don't even rent them out. We just let them borrow the bikes because it's a need. You got to have the equipment. If someone needs a bigger bike, you got to have the bigger bike. If you need to have a smaller bike, you got to have the smaller bike, and you have to have bikes in between. Sometimes a kid needs a bigger bike, but needs to learn on a smaller bike to generate that confidence, to get comfortable with their movement and their body coordination and their bike coordination. And then once they have that down, then you can upgrade, and that progress, kids don't always have that accessibility at home, depending on what their home environment is or what equipment they have at home.
Right.
I don't know. It's funny. I've been able to visit my brothers at the work that they do, and it's been fascinating to hear some of the stuff they do when they talk. It's like high level stuff. It's like, man, you can tell that someone's got experience doing the industry that they're doing. And then when I talk about, teaching kids how to ride bikes, I feel the same way. It's like I'm doing it long enough where I feel like I'm an expert at it,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But it's, helping people is not necessarily a lucrative thing. So it's challenging sometimes. So the donations help a lot, more than people realize. And honestly, we see them all, and it's like, whether it's $1, $5, $500, $25, $2,500, whatever it is, it's interesting. And I really appreciate it. We appreciate it. The kids appreciate it. So.
And you did cover where to do that. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
You're good, dude.
As I stepped out. So there's your elevator speech, and it took the amount of time it took me to make a cup of coffee.
It was a long time. Yeah, it was
impressive.
A long time.
That's not that long. Are you kidding me?
We took the stairs.
Yeah, well, it happens.
We took the stairs.
That's the health of your
choice. Some exciting
anyway.
things. Yeah, we're working on some exciting things. It's not. Yeah, it's. People always ask me what I do in the wintertime. I'm the guy working on the vehicles. I'm the guy fixing the shit. I'm the guy making the lights and stuff, and then also doing the trainings too. There's a lot of different things going on. Anyways.
Yeah, it's wintertime is project time for almost everybody in this industry. With our snow, I've been getting out and riding my fat bike a little, so that's been fun for me at least.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? Well, if we're making plugs, hey, everybody in the industry is hurting. After you make your donation to Pedaling Minds,
it doesn't just have to be me, man. There's a lot of great organizations out there doing awesome stuff.
Yes,
so.
But then go out and grab yourself some buttonhole chamois cream. Get yourself some tires over at Tread Savvy. I'm still pushing the Black Friday sale that Challenge had. So all the cross tires that I got on there are 25% off right now. I'm going to put some road tires that I've got that are going to be over 50% off and just throw them on there. I am looking to – I told them when I got them because they're a discontinued colorway. They're black sidewalls instead of their tan sidewalls. And they're road tires in 25, 27, and 30. So if you need a set of those, you need to swing by, keep an eye on the site, and check it out. Tread Savvy, treadsavvy.com. Drop us an email, roadisdead, all one word, at gmail.com, roadisdead@gmail. Outside of that, I guess we should cover, there was something that happened, I don't know, somewhere warm where a lot of freaking people showed up to it. I think Leah knows about it.
El Tour de Tucson. Have you ever done that, Mike?
I never did Tour de Tucson.
Yeah, so I did that the day before the Forge, I guess. That was interesting.
Tucson was always track season. I was always when I was, I never did it.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. They say it's not a race, which it's not a race, but at the front, it is a race.
It's not a race in the same way gravel events.
Yeah, it's at the pointy end. It's definitely a race. There's definitely a podium. The winner, overall, men and women, win a Ventum bicycle. So
it is a race.
There is definitely
it's a race. How do you give away a Ventum bicycle when it's not a race?
Yeah, everybody is chip time.
Women and men get $5,000 each. for winning.
Yeah, I want a participation momentum.
Right, exactly. And previous winner, I think last year, was Chloe Dygert on the women's side. I forget who won the men's race. So
it's like, it's not just a race for Eventum. It's like the most elite competitors coming to this race.
Yeah. So you definitely get a handful of pros and some top pros even that come in, and maybe they pay them to come in. I don't know.
I mean, it makes it fun to go swing with the elite.
I know Bob Roll lined up and did one of the distances. I don't know which one he did. I mean, I was riding next to Quinn Simmons at one point. I think he was doing it with his wife. I mean, so I'd never done it before, so I didn't know what to expect.
Did you say hi to Quinn?
I did not.
Quinn was probably in hour 7 of his base ride.
Hey, Quinn, I just want to say hi. He was like, make a super like.
I wished I could have spent more time. I mean, it's an early start. It's 7 a.m. and the sun is literally just coming up at 7 a.m. And it's a little chilly. It's in the 50s. I didn't really have time to really take it in before the start, but I didn't know this until.
Did you guys catch that? A native Chicagoland said that 50s was chilly. You're getting soft, Leah.
That's because she's not a native anymore.
Yeah, you're getting soft.
I didn't know this until well afterwards. There were 11,000 participants in this event.
Wow,
over
that's a lot of people.
3 distances. So they have 102. That's the long distance, and then they have a 60-something and a 30-something.
Sounds like
there was probably on the order of, I don't know, maybe somewhere between over 2,000 did the 102, but they have it split. So they have a front they call it a platinum wave, and the very front of that platinum wave is a VIP section, and that whole group goes off at 7, and then 5 minutes later everybody else goes off in the 102. So to be in a platinum, you either have to qualify to be in it by getting I think it's like sub 4.5 hours for men and sub 5 hours for women, or be a category 1 or 2 on the road. And so you have to go to a safety meeting and get a wristband that will allow you to get into the corral that is that platinum front. So I had to do all of that because I'm a Cat 2 on the road. I was able to get into it, and I thought, I don't know if this is smart because I've never done this before, and I don't know if I should be up here. But
it's the best position to be because you can
actually it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there are people, he said, that will line up at 4:00 in the morning to get to the front of the everybody else wave, because those people are trying to get qualifying times to get into the platinum wave. So
for the next year, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Planning ahead.
Yep. So anyway, it was brutally hard and fun because they had like 30-mile-an-hour winds, and we were going into the wind for the first bit of it, and then you turned south and it was a straight up left to right crosswind, so everybody's guttering, and the line the pace, the groups are getting all fractured and split apart with groups, and I'm not strong enough to push that kind of wind with this kind of, I'm grabbing whatever groups I can ride with, and at one point I'm riding behind a guy and he's swerving all over the place. I'm thinking to myself, he's trying to get me off his wheel. What the heck? Why is he doing that? And finally I said it out loud. I'm like, dude, are you intentionally trying to drop me? And he's just like,
Masters racer.
No, he was just like, oh man, no, I'm just trying to stay on my bike, man. And just like smiling and shit. And I was like, dude, you're going to kill me. So I was
Did
like,
really talk like that?
Yes. Yeah. No, it was so hard. I rode so hard the first half at 50 miles. I was totally blown, and I just
How long is it?
102 miles. I got to the 75 mile. They had like 6 or 7 aid stations. I didn't want to have to stop and take whatever Gatorade and cookies they have at an aid station, but I 102 miles. I can't carry all of that with me. So I had 2 bottles with that Martin high carb mix in it, I drank 2, each having 320, had a gel, and that was my first 75 miles. I was completely like, I need calories at 75. Grabbed 2 more bottles and just started hitting it as hard as I could. And I had kind of a second wind. For the last 25 miles, I did in an hour.
Isn't that crazy how your body can do that?
Yeah,
like you can be like deteriorating, and then you get some calories. You know, like if you're
yeah.
You can feel like you are an inch away from death's door.
I mean,
that you're going to just completely shut down, and then 2 seconds
back.
later, you're like, "Let's go!"
I don't know where this fight came from, but I was sprinting across gaps to try and not lose. I got onto some good wheels coming down this downhill, long downhill on this road called Helmet Peak. It was like 30 mile an hour average for 5 to 6 miles. It was so awesome. I'm like, I need to stay with this group. If I can stay with this group, I think I can go sub 5. But like, again, it kept breaking apart, and I had to like sprint across all these gaps to try to stay with this group. And I stayed with them all the way to the end, and I came in 7 minutes under sub 5. So I didn't think it was going to happen that day because I was so blown. And I didn't really train for this other than I've been doing long zone 2 rides, but that was it. So I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of just in it to experience it, but my secret hope was, hey, if I can go sub 5 with not really truly preparing for this, that was going to be happy. And I was
102
happy.
miles in sub 5 hours is moving.
I want to go on record as saying I have done a sub 5 century myself. You know,
yeah.
It's possible. Oh, wait a minute.
No,
it was in the Midwest, and it was flat. And I had a lot of friends.
A long time.
This was not actually, there was only about 3,000 feet elevation gain. So it was not.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't
just 3,000 feet.
Yeah.
Which
the
is like
wind,
10 of my rides.
It was the wind. That first 30 miles were brutal with that wind. If you weren't with a solid group that was working together well and knew how to echelon, and you were just hosed. So.
Well, you mentioned the VIP section. I do want to say that our team chat, our little group chat that we've got going on was fired up because we started seeing all these pictures just popping up in like Instagram and everywhere else. And come to find out, there was a selfie picture that everybody had kind of done together. And we all took turns naming who all was in the picture, but they were all there and hanging out. And there was Hen Cappy was in it. Bob Roll. The biggest thing is Bob Roll looks like Santa Claus right now.
Yeah.
He's completely white, gray hair, white hair, and he's got a full beard and everything going on. I caught it because Bobby Julich posted. He was in there. Vandeveld was in there.
Yep.
Who else? I'll think of it. But a pretty interesting crew that got together in that VIP section doing the ride.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool. I don't know.
And locally, Nate Knowles was in it. And
it's not a VIP.
Well, I mean, he finished 17th overall. So
I'm just giving him shit. I understand. Okay. Yes, he's a good racer.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was interesting. I actually highly recommend anybody that wants to come down to it because it is not cheap. The entry for this is crazy expensive, but it is a really neat event. The after party, I guess, the whole thing, the expo that goes on for days prior to the event. It's a big event, and it's a big production around the event, and the money all goes to good cause. So it's kind of a neat destination.
I don't know, what's your social media presence like?
Oh yeah.
You would definitely be able to do that.
You could
100%.
You could get in as a VIP for sure.
I don't want to be a VIP.
Anybody that
I don't know if you know this or not.
Is a pro or former pro would definitely be able to.
I think there's also a little tick box for an Olympian.
Yeah.
No,
that's
not what I meant.
So if you want to ride a century and get in there. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it for your recap. You were very psyched about it. You were very happy about it right when it happened. And
it was your first one you did, though.
I feel like you're downplaying this a bit.
Yeah.
Just for I did a thing. You were very happy about that. So I think everybody should know that she was very psyched and very geeked about it.
I was excited about doing it. I was.
So take pride in what you did. I absolutely couldn't even get close to doing anything like that, but that's not.
Don't be afraid to say hi to anybody.
Yeah,
Run into Quinn.
say hi. Okay.
I thought it's something really inappropriate, but I'm not going to say it. Anyway, I did think of this a little while back, and I do want to throw it in here. I mentioned something about the Montrose thing in our team chat just now, and now it's blowing up. A lot of people are very confused about that decision, but anyway, I do want to go on record as saying this. I have put on a lot of races, like 38, 40 races, something like that. Leah, you basically have put on as many or very close to it. I think we met when I had done like 4 races at that point.
I didn't know that Leah put those races.
Oh, yeah. Well, she would say she does all of it, and all I do is write the checks. And I'm not.
This entire time I've done this podcast with you guys, I never knew that.
Well, yeah. So
I'm secretly, quietly in the background doing all the logistical shit.
Yeah, like I got sick before our race, and if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have had it. But anyway, that's your kudos for the day.
Thanks.
And it's the only kudos I'm ever giving you. I want to go on record as saying, for as many races as we put on, granted, I don't ever foresee me canceling a race. It would have to be very extenuating circumstances for that to happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. But if I ever made the decision that I was canceling one of my races, I'll be goddamned if anyone's going to second guess my choice. Do you know what I mean? It's like if I've made the decision, I've made the decision. And I have my reasons for doing it. So I don't like second guessing what they're doing. I do like sitting around drinking a cup of coffee and pontificating as to what possible causes may have actually been. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. So, and a lot of fun to talk about. So, but outside of that, I mean, I'm saying as far as Mark's perspective is, because I really do look at, I understand that Half Acre puts it on and they're the team promoter of choice. I've always kind of looked at this as Mark's race because he's put it on for all those years. Through all the different clubs that have helped out. So, for Mark to cancel it, it's not something small. For Half Acre has been under the guidance of Mark, so it's not like it was a small decision taken lightly. I know that there was a lot of reasons for it. And I'm not going to second guess them saying, well, they should have put it on. That's me. I appreciate that other people are second guessing, such as Tim. I think it's good that you are second guessing them. Because I think that's what makes it all healthy, that we need to have discussions like this. So if you want to know for yourself whether or not you would make the right choice in a situation like this, then I highly encourage you to put on a race next year. Get off your butt, get your license, and go put on a race. And if you don't know how to do it, contact me. I'll walk you through it. All right. So I've done my bit. What else? Yeah. We're running right at the end of our thing. We'll touch on Philly next time. Obviously,
I'll come back
very
on.
much in favor on that coming back.
Yeah.
And I know we were going to touch on.
We
were going to touch on all the new
women's teams,
women's pro teams that are popping up in the U.S. and a lot of the restructuring from the Williams brothers that are kind of precipitating a lot of this restructuring. But I'm very excited to hear about. Well, it'll probably be next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll start announcing some more of the rosters, which will be interesting.
That is exciting. Yeah.
And I am super psyched about Andrea Sears' new team.
Yes.
So
super.
that is the one I am the most psyched about out of everything.
Sick.
Brody's not dead, I guess. But yeah. Anything else anybody else wants to throw in before we call it a day? I know I would ask Tim for a Nationals preview, but you know what? You got enough on your mind. You can do your own thing, and we'll talk about it in January when you're done.
I got a call I got to grab, guys.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Perfect time.
And we'll talk to you next time. Enjoy the ride.